In my first video, I showed you that I was the proud owner of a handmade raised bed. I spent one day making it, and I explained that a good position in your garden is crucial if you want to make this work. Someone's checking out my work. And I'd like to explain what I filled it with. I didn't show you because I have other things to do than to make YouTube videos, and I'm going to keep the fun in this. So what I wanted to say is that I was very, very shocked when I read a comment from someone on Facebook who wrote that she spent $800 on compost for her raised bed, small raised bed. I was like, what? $800? That's just outrageous. Why is that crazy? Well, because your garden does that for nothing. The only thing you need is time, which I understand most people don't have, or at least they're in the illusion that they don't have time. When you want to start, of course, it's your right, it always is, to buy compost. And I perfectly understand why someone would want to buy compost now and start a garden that way. But I'd like to show you how you can do this for free. So let me first show you what's on the very bottom of this bed. So underneath, first layer is a brown layer. And that layer is the same as this layer. So it's basically twigs, leaves, more twigs, some coffee grounds. There's even chestnuts from last year. So this is brown layers. First is a brown layer. Second is a green layer. And if you paid attention on the short walk I did from my house through the garden to the bed, you will see that there's an awful lot of plants in my garden. I have a natural garden. This is a permaculture garden that I'm developing, and it's really nature doing its thing. The only thing I do is intervene here and there. For example, when I need greens for the bed. So on top of the first brown layer is a green layer, and that is any greens you see here. So anything I want to take out, I just put in a bucket and then I stack it on the first brown layer. And that's very much how you make compost. So brown layer, green layer, then another brown layer, another green one, and then the top brown layer. One of the things I read is people freaking out saying, I don't have kitchen scraps, I don't have grass, what am I going to do? Well, exactly. Grow a natural garden. I mean, who needs a lawn anyway? I'm a very lazy gardener. Why do all the work when nature does it? So when I said I was an absolute beginner, this was not quite true. I'm an absolute beginner when it comes to raised wooden beds, but I'm not when it comes to, well, compost. Because with a garden like mine, there's no way around it. You have to, well, intervene. You have to interact with nature. And this is the way, this is really the way. That's the green layer I'm talking about. So you find anything. I don't use the word weeds because weeds to me don't exist. Plants will take the space you give them, and if you intervene, they're going to go around it, or something else will grow. What you see here is wood chips. Those wood chips are made from branches, small ones, big ones. This is a bit of a throne. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I guess, yeah, I should make like a magical throne with this. I'll find inspiration and tell you later. So yeah, twigs and branches, pile them up and then chop them when they're dry, so you can have wood chips for your garden. Maybe you're going to say, yeah, but I have a small garden. Well, even with a small garden, you can create greens for the layers for your compost. So I have 5 boxes of these. I'm going to take you to the second one that has ready-made compost now. So brown layers, this is for the green layers. This is compost being made. So the raised bed that I show you is basically like like a compost heap, but then I'm going to plant in it. So it's a bit of a system. It's a live system, a bit like a live compost heap with vegetables on top of it. So here I'll show you my this is finished compost, and this is what worms do with the twigs. So with the green and the brown layers that you alternate, this is what happens. So they create the most wonderful soil. Now you can do two things. You can pile this in your raised bed straight like that, and then you can plant in this raw compost. If you want to sow in compost, you have to sieve it. So then you get that very fine compost. Why do you have to go through this tremendous work? Because you have very, very small roots. Very small roots, bramble, nettle, you name it. And if you're going to chuck that in your raised bed, you'll see you won't be raising carrots or beets, but you'll be raising something else. So very important. Choose, are you going to plant, are you going to sow, and then take it from there. So I'm going to put this here. I normally don't do plastic anymore. This is content for a new video, I'll tell you later. But I had this plastic box, and it's practical for now. I'm not gonna minimalize it out of my house. I'm just gonna use it as long as it's usable. So I'm just gonna take you back to the bed. This is the finest compost there is. It's made by the nature in my garden. It didn't cost me anything but time and attention. And this is what you should cover the brown layer with if you want to sow directly in the bed. If you don't have it, you have to buy it. Well, you don't have to do anything. You do whatever you feel like doing. But that's the real deal. That's compost. I'm going to do more videos on how to build perfect compost piles. Well, not perfect, but state-of-the-art compost. Basically compost that will make your garden happy. Everything is cyclical. Nature gives everything back. Everything, everything, everything. You give it and it gives you back. Everything you need is here. So yeah, on top of this brown layer, I will add, not this, because I'm going to plant in the bed. So I'm going to put raw compost in here and maybe cover it with a thin top layer. But you understand that if I have to cover all this brown with sieved compost, then I'm going to be, sieving for a few days. And life is too short to waste all your time on things that nature actually does much better. And why do I say this? Well, because this whole raised bed thing, why do you think I only built one? I'm going to use it to put aromatics in it. So herbs, mainly. The way that people garden is this way. I mean, people like my grandparents, my parents, they plant straight in the soil. And why is that? Because you got everything there. Everything right there. This is pure compost. If you take good care of your garden, you plant straight in compost. This is garlic. And what I did is I just added, after planting, I just added leaves to protect the garlic from invaders. And you wouldn't say that this is a garden maybe, or maybe an OCD diagnosed person will go like, I want to organize. This is not a bed. Well, it is a bed, but it's a natural bed. Those are snowdrops. And there's strawberries here. I just planted them actually 2 days ago. And I'm going to add a few more. And they're waiting here. So it's very easy. You dig a small hole. You pop it in. You close it. You water it. And that's it. That's what nature asks. And it will take care of the rest itself. So let me show you what I mean when I say that a good garden is compost. This is a wooded area in my garden, and I never clean anything. These are leaves from last autumn. Look at that. This, my friends, is pure compost. So I'm walking on one big compost pile. I cover it with leaves because you don't want it to dry out and you don't want to grow all kinds of visitors that, you don't want. We say, thank you for your visit, but you won't come back. See my point? Most vegetables don't need beds. So don't waste your money. Don't waste your time on things you don't need. I will show you why I needed this, but my garden will show you why it can take care of the rest. Thanks for watching. I'll be back.